Ever imagine being so desperate for, I don't know, acceptance that you fall for a scam?
Oh, wow.
Like a scam orchestrated by a countess and a prostitute pretending to be the Queen of France.
That's something else.
Yeah, so today we're diving deep into this, the diamond necklace affair, a story of, well, ambition, deception, and a necklace so extravagant. I mean, it could bankrupt a nation.
Really?
Yeah. And you shared an episode of the History Daily podcast with us, and it's just incredible how a simple desire for approval, to be accepted, could lead to like one of the biggest scandals in French history.
It's remarkable how this story, captures all that extravagance, but also just the simmering tensions of pre-revolutionary France.
Right.
It truly was a powder keg, just waiting to ignite.
So let's set the scene. It's the 1780s,
Okay.
and France is a whirlwind of opulence,
Yeah.
and courtly intrigue.
Yeah.
This is where we meet Jeanne de Lamotte, a woman born into poverty,
Okay.
but with a burning, burning desire to climb the social ladder.
So Jeanne's attempts to gain Queen Marie Antoinette's favor, they were totally unsuccessful.
Oh, wow.
And the Queen's rejection, it only fueled Jeanne's ambition and set the stage for a cunning plan.
So imagine the audacity of even trying to win over the Queen of France.
Oh, yeah.
But when those attempts failed,
Right.
it seems like Jeanne decided to play a different game altogether.
Yeah, and that's where Cardinal Rohan kind of enters the picture.
Okay.
This powerful figure, deeply religious and influential, found himself out of favor with the royal family. And to really understand the significance of this, we need to remember that in the French court of that era, being in the good graces of the monarchy was everything.
Yeah, it determined your social standing, your political influence,
Yeah.
your access to power.
Precisely.
Yeah, so being out of favor with the royals was like being exiled from the inner circle.
Right.
A huge blow to one's status and influence.
Wesley. And Jean, with her, sharp instincts,
Yeah.
saw Cardinal Rohan's vulnerability
Yeah.
and decided to exploit it.
So she began feeding him these elaborate stories, suggesting that the Queen held him in high regard and even hinted at a secret romantic interest.
And here's where this story takes a truly audacious turn.
Okay.
Jean starts forging letters from the Queen to the Cardinal, professing affection and admiration.
Fake love letters from Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
I can't believe the lengths Jean went to in order to weave this web of deception.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Cardinal Rohan, desperate to regain royal favor and perhaps blinded by the allure of, a secret royal romance, fell for it completely.
Wow.
Utterly convinced of the Queen's affection, all thanks to those forged letters.
This brings us to one of the most outrageous scenes in the entire affair.
Yeah.
A midnight meeting in the palace gardens at Versailles.
Picture this, the Palace of Versailles, a symbol of, royal power and grandeur.
Right.
Within its vast and meticulously manicured gardens, Cardinal Rohan believed he was about to have this clandestine rendezvous with the Queen.
Versailles, the heart of the French court.
Yes.
A place steeped in history and intrigue.
Right.
It's incredible to imagine this dramatic scene unfolding in such a grand setting.
But there's a twist. Jean had hired a prostitute who bore, a slight resemblance to Marie Antoinette to impersonate the Queen during this midnight meeting.
So the cardinal in the dimly lit gardens
Yeah.
met this woman believing he was experiencing a secret forbidden encounter with the Queen.
That's right.
This is where the manipulation, it almost becomes comical.
It does.
If it weren't so audacious.
It's a testament to Jean's cunning and Cardinal Rohan's desperation that such an elaborate charade could actually succeed.
And this meticulously planned encounter kind of sets the stage for the introduction of the infamous diamond necklace, the
Yes.
centerpiece of this unbelievable scheme.
This wasn't just any necklace. It was an extravagant piece, originally commissioned for Madame du Barry, King Louis XV's mistress. However, the king died before the necklace was finished, leaving the jewelers in a very precarious financial position.
So you have this incredibly valuable necklace that no one seems to want.
Right.
And enter Jean,
Exactly.
ready to exploit the situation.
Jean, still, spinning her web of deception around Cardinal Rohan,
Yeah.
convinced him that the queen desired this very necklace, but needed a discreet intermediary to handle the purchase.
She even went as far as to forge a letter from the
She
queen
did.
promising repayment for the necklace.
Cardinal Rohan, completely taken in by Jean's manipulation and believing he was acting on behalf of the queen, agreed to this incredibly expensive purchase.
Can you imagine the audacity to convince someone to buy a diamond necklace, fit for a queen on the premise of a secret royal request?
I know, it's unbelievable.
It really is.
The jewelers, thrilled to finally have a buyer for this extravagant piece, handed the necklace over to Cardinal Rohan, believing it was destined for Marie Antoinette's collection.
So the cardinal, completely duped, becomes the middleman in this grand scheme.
Yeah.
What happens next? Is the queen, completely unaware, ever receive this extravagant necklace?
Of course not, no. The necklace never reached Marie Antoinette.
Oh, wow.
Instead, it was broken up.
Really?
And the individual diamonds, they were smuggled out of France and sold off.
So while Cardinal Rohan believes he's doing the queen this big favor,
Yeah.
the necklace is disappearing piece by piece.
That's right.
It's incredible how this scheme unraveled in such a clandestine way.
Well, the cracks started to show when the jewelers, after, months of waiting, they grew impatient.
Right.
They hadn't received any payment from the queen, and they hadn't even seen her wearing the necklace.
Right.
So naturally, they began to worry.
It must have taken a lot of courage for them to approach the queen directly,
Oh, yeah.
considering the strict etiquette and hierarchy of the French court.
Absolutely. But their desperation for payment outweighed their fear of, royal displeasure.
Right.
They finally contacted Marie Antoinette, hoping to inquire about the status of their payment.
And that's when this whole charade imploded.
Exactly.
The elaborate scheme, the forged letters, the
Right.
impersonation, it all came crashing down.
It did.
What a dramatic turn of events.
Imagine the queen's astonishment when she's presented with a bill for a diamond necklace that she knows nothing about.
Right.
So the truth started to surface and the scandal just exploded.
On August 15th, 1785,
Yes.
Cardinal Rohan was dramatically arrested in the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles.
I know, right in the heart of the royal court.
Can you paint a picture of what that scene must have been like?
So imagine the grandeur of the Hall of Mirrors, with its glittering chandeliers, towering ceilings, and walls adorned with just countless mirrors reflecting the scene. And amidst all of this opulence and splendor, Cardinal Rohan, a prominent figure of the court, was publicly apprehended.
Yeah.
I mean, the shock and the scandal, it must have been palpable.
It really is like a scene out of a movie.
Yeah, it is.
This entire affair,
Right.
from the elaborate scheme to the dramatic arrest, it reads like a captivating novel.
Well, the news of this scandal spread like wildfire.
Oh, I bet.
The French public, already grappling with economic hardship and social inequality, they were just enthralled by this tale of deception and extravagance within the highest echelons of power.
So this event, it seems like it played right into the existing tensions
It did.
and fueled the growing resentment towards the monarchy.
Precisely. And while Marie Antoinette had no involvement in the affair,
Right.
her reputation, already tarnished by rumors of excessive spending and frivolous behavior, took a severe hit. She became the scapegoat, the symbol of a detached and out-of-touch monarchy.
It's a classic example of how perception can sometimes outweigh reality, especially when public sentiment is already volatile. But what happened to the Cardinal and Jean?
Right.
Surely they couldn't just walk away from this.
Well, both Cardinal Rohan and Jean de la Motte, they faced trial for their roles in the affair. And the trial itself was a public spectacle, further fueling the flames of gossip and speculation.
So what was the outcome? Did they admit to their roles in this scheme, or did they attempt to defend themselves?
Well, Cardinal Rohan's still clinging to the belief that he was, acting on behalf of the Queen. He maintained his innocence.
Wow.
He argued that he was a victim of Jean de la Motte's manipulation.
It's incredible that even at this point, he believed that he was the one who'd been wronged.
Yeah, his deep desire for acceptance and his unwavering faith in the Queen's favor, it blinded him to the truth. And the court ultimately found him not guilty, perhaps swayed by his claims of being deceived.
So he escaped punishment despite his involvement.
He did.
It's remarkable how social standing and influence could could impact the legal system back then. What about Jean? Did she manage to convince the court that she was merely a pawn in this game?
Well, Jeanne, facing, overwhelming evidence against her,
Right.
was found guilty of fraud and forgery.
Okay.
She was sentenced to prison, but in a twist befitting this entire saga,
Okay.
she managed to escape.
She escaped prison. This woman is full of surprises.
Oh, yeah. She fled to London, where she wrote and published her memoirs, offering her own, version of events. Of course, she portrayed herself as, a victim of circumstance, blaming others for her downfall.
It seems rewriting history to fit her narrative was her final act of deception. What about the jewelers, the ones who were left holding the empty bag, so to speak? Did they ever get compensated for their loss?
Sadly, no. Despite their attempts to recover their losses, they were never paid for the necklace.
Wow.
The sale that seemed like, a stroke of good fortune
Right.
turned out to be their financial ruin.
Their story is a tragic reminder that even in a tale filled with scheming nobles and extravagant jewels, it's often the everyday people who suffer the most.
Right. Yeah.
They were victims of circumstance, caught in the crossfire of this grand deception.
Yeah, their fate adds a layer of poignancy to the whole affair. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the intrigue and the drama of the court.
Yeah.
But ultimately, there were real world consequences that extended, far beyond the palace walls.
Right. It's fascinating how this one event, the diamond necklace affair, became like a microcosm of the issues that were plaguing France at the time.
Oh, absolutely. It exposed all the cracks in the system, the extravagance, the secrecy, the disconnect between the ruling class and the people.
Right.
It all just contributed to this growing sense of unrest.
And Jeanne de la Motte, she almost embodies that simmering revolution. She recognized the flaws and manipulated them to her advantage.
She represents that cunning ambition and willingness to use deception to get ahead. Themes that unfortunately echo throughout history,
Yeah.
and even in our own time.
Right. And Cardinal Rohan, his desperation for acceptance, it made him the perfect target for Jeanne's scheme.
Oh, he so desperately desired the Queen's approval that he disregarded every red flag.
Yeah.
His longing just blinded him to the truth.
Yeah.
It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of seeking validation from external sources.
Absolutely. And then there's Marie Antoinette, innocent in this whole ordeal.
Right.
But she still became the symbol of everything people despised about the monarchy.
Yeah, her reputation, already fragile, was shattered.
Yeah.
And this scandal cemented her image as out of touch and indifferent to the struggles of the French people.
A tragic reminder that even those in positions of power can be victims of circumstance.
Right.
And that public perception can be a powerful and unforgiving force.
It speaks to the importance of critical thinking and media literacy.
Yeah.
Skills that are perhaps even more crucial today with this constant influx of information from various sources.
Absolutely. So looking back at this messy, captivating, and tragic tale centuries later, what can we learn? What insights can we glean from this historical drama?
I think there are several key takeaways. First, appearances can be deceiving.
Okay.
The cardinal's blind trust in Jeanne, the public's perception of Marie Antoinette, it all highlights how easily we can be swayed by surface-level impressions.
Right. It's crucial to look beyond the facade and delve deeper. A valuable lesson, whether we're navigating personal relationships or evaluating information.
Absolutely. Second, the story emphasizes the importance of critical thinking. We must question assumptions, examine evidence, and be wary of those offering, easy answers or exploiting our vulnerabilities.
Especially in today's world where information overload is the norm. This ability to discern truth from falsehood is paramount.
Indeed. And finally, the diamond necklace affair highlights the enduring power of narratives. The way the story was framed, the rumors that spread, the interpretations that took hold, they all shaped public opinion and, in many ways, influenced a pivotal moment in history.
It underscores how the stories we tell ourselves and the narrative we believe deeply impact our understanding of the world and the choices we make.
And those stories can have a ripple effect, sometimes shaping the course of events in profound ways.
This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to ponder. It's a reminder that deception, ambition, and the human desire for acceptance are timeless. It also highlights the enduring need for critical thinking and a healthy dose of of skepticism.
And it shows us that history, even when it seems distant and irrelevant, often holds valuable lessons for us today. By understanding the past, we can better navigate the complexities of the present.
Well, thank you for joining us in this deep dive into the Diamond Necklace affair.
Yeah.
We hope this exploration has been insightful and thought-provoking.
Yeah.